So first God, the whole, which is one, becomes the three, the grand trinity, and then it divides into seven, the seven mighty Elohim, the seven master spirits, the seven mighty archangels, and the seven super universes. So bear in mind that this is the same qualified or unqualified absolute substance, now divided into seven aspects of itself, and each aspect carries the whole within itself as well. Most importantly, let it be understood, as validated by both quantum physics and metaphysical knowledge, that there is only one immeasurable force with innumerable parts, as a photon is both a wave and a particle at the same time. So in tracing this back to the great beginning at the time of the great unfolding, first there was God the one-fold, and then came God to the threefold as the Trinity, and then God the sevenfold, and since everything is divided from the one, there is no separation but only expansion, for we are dealing here with the same energy field, the same light energy emanating or expressing itself in different forms and parts, the many and the one and the many. And that idea or that concept explains our entire reality and will also aid the final resolution to the full explanation of the grand theory of everything that will explain every fundamental force known to men, or unknown to men also. Also, as the Trinity divides in this involutionary descent process into seven parts, it preserves the Trinity, and each part for each master spirit is in each super universe is also composed as a Trinity, as there are three ancient of days for each of the seven super universes. After the expansion or division, that's another way of seeing this process of involution as we connected with math. We see it as a division, as the whole dividing itself into seven equal parts of itself, and then the seven equal parts of itself further divide into innumerable parts, and then it just keeps dividing until it factorizes itself into the billions of galaxies. And that's the way we exist. So tracing this back to the great beginning of the time, of the great unfolding, first there was God the one-fold, and then came God the threefold as the Trinity, and then God the sevenfold, and since everything is divided from the one, there is no separation, only expansion, for we are dealing here with the same energy field, same light energy expressing itself in different forms and parts, the many and the one and the many. Also, as the Trinity divides in this involutionary descent into seven parts, it preserves the Trinity in each part. For each master spirit in each super universe is also composed as a Trinity, as there are three ancient of days for each of the seven super universes. After the expansion, division into the seven super universes, the great Godhead, unqualified absolute, from the one to the threefold, from the sevenfold, was now ready to begin its experience in the outer realms of the first space level to become God, the 12-fold, thereby explaining the existence of the 12 major universes, perhaps emanating from each super universe, each acting as 1/7 of the whole central omniverse. So each super universe here is also known as its own core universe, acting as if it were to be its own central universe, and then also dividing itself into first 12 major creations or extensions. And this explains the cosmology of 12 living universes, or 12 major universes, which even our local universe of Nebadon exists within. So there is a connection between the Urantia revelation of cosmology as well as the Yonahan script revelation of cosmology regarding the number 7 and the number 12. At 12, each super universe, from a holographic perspective, we may now... First, let me read that again so it could make better sense. After the expansion division into the seven super universes, the great Godhead, unqualified absolute, from the one to the threefold, from the sevenfold, was now ready to begin its experience in the outer realms of the first space level to become God the 12-fold, thereby explaining the creation and existence of the 12 major universes, perhaps emanating from each super universe, each acting as 1/7 of the grand central omniverse creation, better yet said. From a holographic perspective, we may now safely conclude that each super universe is an exact replica of the already existing central omniverse, which validates the concept of the holographic concept of existence. And as the 3 is inherited in the 7, and as each 7 carries the properties of 3, then this means that in the 12 there are also properties of 3s and 7s, as there are 3 overall planes of existence, 7 major chakras in our body system, and 5 minor ones, thus making it 12 chakras, all interrelating with one another. Let's sum it up. The 1 first divides into 3, then into 7, then 12, as each further dividend carries the whole of the entire central original essence. This tells us that the inherent property or blueprint for all life that exists is generated from the inner core of all that is, which also again sheds more validation and correctness to the idea of the theory of the central universe, or the central sun theory, which implements the principles of centropy as opposed to the laws of decay or entropy, which is false. So these are some new revolutionary theories that are completely going to shatter the way we've been doing science for the last hundreds of years. And as there is, let me see, where is it? Okay, so let's sum it up. The 1 first divides into 3, then into 7, then 12, as each further dividend carries the whole of the entire central original masterpiece. This tells us that the inherent property or blueprint for all life that exists is generated from the inner core of all that is. Just like our own cells in our bodies follow a genetic blueprint based on a central control program known as DNA, so does the cosmos also operate in the same fashion, following a divine cosmic blueprint that is coming from the center of all that is. This tells us that everything in existence is propelled by an inner intelligence that by far exceeds our comprehension, as we only use 6% of our full brain power in genetic material, almost as if the entire cosmos is influenced by a cosmic DNA central control program. In light of this, we may conclude that everything in existence is dancing to the tune of our universal architect, God the Onefold, who is in control of all things at all times, and in all of its extensions or creations. Most importantly, this concept validates the idea that everything has purpose and that there are no such things as accidents. After viewing that 3, 7, and 12 are inherent traits in all creation, we can now comprehend why the new physics suggests that indeed everything is holographic in nature, as every aspect of existence is reflected in everything else. So we can conclude that all of existence is orchestrated by the same patterns which all stem from the primal source that first divided into 3, then 7, then finally 12, or at least in our universal extension, and that explains why our galactic systems within the 12 major creations are also further divided into 12 parts known as the zodiac. Now, in an attempt at bridging the two different cosmologies that have been restored back to our world by the higher emissaries, we may conclude that there only exists one great overall central universe or metaverse, as explained by cutting-edge science, with no end and no beginning as proposed by the new physics. Second, by applying the analogy of the primal sacred number, this great cosmic universe is first divided into 3 levels of itself, and that explains upper heaven or upper paradise, nether paradise, and periphery. In the well, there's 3 aspects of heaven in the grand central creation. There is nether paradise, upper paradise, and central paradise. Or in this case, it is known as the peripheral.